What's up? I'm Carl J. Richter, and in this video, I am going to show you how I built a little gamified element so that as I have this module where we have a bunch of different people that we help here, I can actually show when someone has been completed. So let me go ahead and show you one here. So when we click through, we meet the person. You may have seen this in another video. I did this with a different look. I've got some clip art from my friends at eLearning Art. And I kind of like this look where the people are more of an outline. They call it fluid design. And in this video, I'm going to show you how I made this character turn into a little check mark here when we finished it. So I'm going to show you how to do it for the other four. So if you're using the sample file, I've got a link for a free storyline file. It has the built-in articulate characters. Everything that I'm showing you here would work just as well if you're using your own graphics. Okay, so now that you know what it looks like, let's go ahead and go into the source file. I've got my characters each numbered. I'll show you here that I've got different scenes. So you see that my scene names here, this one's variable 3, this one's variable 5. What I did to make that effect at the very end, I have something here that says set the value of 5 equal to true when the timeline starts here. So I went in here to variables. I'll go ahead and open this little window. So again, the variable window's right here, and I did 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and I have them set to false. So I can go real quickly here. I'll kind of go in order. So variable 1, we've got Quinn DeQuitter. My storyline is... So I've got set the value to true when the timeline starts on this. And then I've got another number variable that I'll talk about here in another video. But basically, I've got this number so that as I help 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people, this number in orange will change from 1 to 2 to 3 to 4 to 5. But so anyway, how did we do it? So what I did for my character, I went through, and again, this was just with a regular picture. I went in ahead and I made him complete. So let's do the same thing here for this character. I'm going to say edit the state. Now state, if you're new to states, it just gives an object more than one appearance. So you can use the built-in ones, or you can type in complete like I'm doing here. And what I'm going to do is go into format, and I'm going to go to brightness, and I'm going to go all the way down to none. So totally blacked out. I'm going to go back here, and I'm going to steal the same check mark that I used from this character, and I'll click done and go back in here and put her on the complete state. Okay. So I'm going to hold down on my keyboard. I'm going to hold the shift. That's why you see those two lines there. It keeps it aligned. And then you see that other one there. So it's nice and centered. Okay. So that was the hard way to do it. I went through. I can actually go through with the format painter as well. And I can click on each of these characters. And it's going to do the same thing for me. Looks like I need to edit exactly where this guy is. Whoa, not you. You come back. You, Mr. Checkmark. You need to just scoot over a little bit so you're in the middle buddy's chest here. So yeah, the format painter is nice because it'll actually create the other states for you. Now I think I need to click format painter again. And I'm going to go to the timeline here, and I'm going to just kind of get some of these pictures out of the way here. So I mentioned that these are all characters that I'm using, and the guy that I need is this brown guy. Okay. Boink. Okay. So now when I turn everything back on my timeline, I'm going to go ahead and get these hotspots out of here in just a second. So let's make sure that I've got the right states. I've got one for this one, I've got one for this one, I've got one for her, I've got one for brown guy we just did, and red guy. So I've got all the states. Now let's talk triggers. Okay, so with this guy, you'll see that I have changed the state of picture to complete if the timeline starts on this layer, this slide. I'm going to go ahead and pull my trigger panel out a little bit here so that I can see better. Okay. So I'm going to go into my timeline real quick, and I'm just going to, I'm going to turn my hotspots back on so I don't forget. I'm going to call her character 4. And I'm doing this just so that it's easy for me to not make any mistakes. I'm going to call it character 5. This one is going to be character 1. Looks like I already did that. This one's character 2. This one's character 3. Okay. Okay, so let me go ahead and show you. It is this trigger right here. I'm on the base layer of my slide, and I say change the state to complete when the timeline starts if 5 is equal to true. Now you see that I went ahead here and I named all my different characters. So what I'm going to do is to give each of them the same trigger and just change the numbers to match. Okay, so we've got this character. Did you see how I selected her and pasted it here? So now it says change the state of, instead of character 5, I'm going to say character 4 to complete when the timeline starts on character 4. No, on this slide. And this time I'll say the number 4. So now I'll change the state of character 3 to complete when the timeline starts on this slide if 3 is equal to true. So really this part of it isn't that tricky if you've done a good job of naming everything on your timeline. I do it. The first time I did this trick, I went totally cross-eyed because I had stuff named weird. And I really think it's important to do it so that it is as easy as possible. So now we have character 1. I said we have character 1. There it is. To complete when the timeline starts on this slide if 1 is equal to true. Okay. So now when we do it, any of these characters, you're going to be able to go in and we're going to see that completed state so long as someone has done it. I've got another video here where I talk about how I did the badge and the number. So if you're curious how we use that numbers to change this badge into congratulations, you have earned it. Okay, so you can check that out. Good luck with this, and if you want the free source file for this, it doesn't have these awesome characters. I got those from elearningart.com. You can check out their site, but if you want a version of this file that has the storyline files, you can get the link in the download below. Thanks.